The planet Zorath 9 was a desolate wasteland, a forgotten corner of the galaxy where the universe dumped its unwanted. Its skies were perpetually gray, its soil barren, and its atmosphere thin and toxic. It was here, among the ruins of a long-abandoned mining colony, that a young alien girl named Kayla was left to die. Kayla was a Zorathian, a species known for their luminescent blue skin and telepathic abilities. But Kayla was different. She was born with a rare genetic defect that left her physically disabled, her legs too weak to support her weight, and her telepathic abilities stunted. To her people she was a burden, a mistake. And so, they abandoned her on Zorath 9, a planet where even the hardiest of creatures struggled to survive. Kayla lay in the shadow of a crumbling structure, her body trembling from the cold and hunger. She had been there for days, her hope dwindling with each passing hour. She closed her eyes, ready to accept her fate, when she heard it, a faint hum growing louder and louder until it was unmistakable. A ship was approaching. The ship landed with a soft thud, its engines whirring as they powered down. The hatch opened, and out stepped a man in his late 30s, his face weathered but kind. His name was Marcus, a human scavenger who made a living by scouring forgotten planets for salvageable tech. Behind him was his teenage daughter, Lily, her eyes wide with curiosity as she took in the bleak landscape. "Stay close, Lily," Marcus said, his voice firm but gentle. "This place is dangerous." Lily nodded, but her attention was already elsewhere. She had spotted something, a faint glow amidst the rubble. "Dad, over there," she called, pointing toward the crumbling structure. Marcus followed her gaze, his hand instinctively reaching for the blaster at his side. As they approached, they saw her. Kayla, her blue skin dulled by dust and exhaustion, her eyes barely open. "Dad, she's alive," Lily exclaimed, rushing to the girl's side. Marcus knelt beside Kayla, his trained eyes assessing her condition. "She's in bad shape," he muttered. "We need to get her to the ship." "But she's an alien," Lily said, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "What if she's dangerous?" Marcus shook his head. "Look at her, Lily. She's just a kid. And she needs our help." Together, they carefully lifted Kayla and carried her to the ship. As they laid her down on the medbay cot, Marcus activated the ship's medical scanner. The results were grim. Kayla was severely malnourished, dehydrated, and suffering from exposure. But there was something else, something the scanner couldn't quite identify. "She's not like any species I've seen before," Marcus said, frowning. "Her body is different. Does that mean we can't help her?" Lily asked, her voice trembling. Marcus placed a hand on his daughter's shoulder. "We'll do what we can." Over the next few days, Marcus and Lily worked tirelessly to nurse Kayla back to health. They fed her nutrient-rich broth, kept her warm, and monitored her vitals. Slowly but surely, Kayla began to regain her strength. But she was wary of her rescuers, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and confusion. One evening, as Lily sat by Kayla's bedside, she decided to try something. She reached out and gently took Kayla's hand. "It's okay," she said softly. "You're safe now." To her surprise, Kayla's eyes widened, and a faint glow returned to her skin. It was as if she could feel Lily's emotions, her kindness, her compassion. For the first time since her abandonment, Kayla felt a glimmer of hope. As the days turned into weeks, Kayla began to open up to Marcus and Lily. Though she couldn't speak their language, she communicated through gestures and expressions. Marcus, ever the resourceful scavenger, even managed to cobble together a rudimentary translation device, allowing them to understand her telepathic thoughts. Through the device, they learned of Kayla's past, how she had been cast out by her own people, left to die on a barren world. Marcus's heart ached for the girl, and he made a silent vow to protect her, no matter what. Lily too grew close to Kayla. The two girls spent hours together, exploring the ship and sharing stories. Lily taught Kayla about Earth, about its oceans and forests, its cities and cultures. In return, Kayla shared glimpses of her own world, its vibrant colors and strange beauty. But not everything was easy. Kayla's disability made it difficult for her to move around, and the ship's cramped quarters only added to her frustration. Marcus, determined to give her a better life, began working on a solution. Using salvaged parts, he built a lightweight exoskeleton that would allow Kayla to walk. The day they fitted her with the exoskeleton was a turning point. As Kayla took her first tentative steps, her face lit up with joy. For the first time in her life she felt free. Months passed, and the bond between Marcus, Lily, and Kayla grew stronger. They became a family, united by love and shared experiences. But their peace was short-lived. One day, as they were exploring a derelict space station, they were ambushed by a group of Zorathian slavers. The slavers recognized Kayla immediately and demanded that she be handed over. Marcus stood his ground, his blaster at the ready. "You're not taking her," he growled. The slavers laughed, their leader stepping forward. "She's worthless to you, human. But to us, she's a valuable commodity." Before Marcus could react, Kayla stepped forward, her exoskeleton whirring softly. Her eyes glowed with a fierce determination as she reached out with her telepathic abilities. The slavers froze, their minds overwhelmed by a wave of fear and confusion. "Leave us," Kayla commanded, her voice echoing in their minds. The slavers stumbled back, their bravado shattered. Without another word, they fled, leaving Marcus and Lily staring at Kayla in awe. With the threat gone, the family returned to their ship. As they prepared to leave, Marcus turned to Kayla. "You saved us," he said, his voice filled with pride. Kayla smiled, her telepathic thoughts reaching out to him. "You saved me first." Lily wrapped her arms around Kayla, tears in her eyes. "You're my sister now, and no one will ever hurt you again." As the ship lifted off, leaving Zorath, 9 behind, Kayla felt a sense of peace she had never known. She had been left for dead, but in Marcus and Lily, she had found a new family, a family that loved her for who she was. Epilogue. Years later, the trio settled on a lush, green planet far from the reaches of the Zorathians. Marcus built a home for them, a place where they could live in peace. Kayla, now a young woman, thrived in her new environment. With the help of her exoskeleton, she explored the forests and rivers, her telepathic abilities growing stronger with each passing day. Lily, now a skilled pilot, often took Kayla on adventures across the galaxy. Together, they discovered new worlds and helped those in need, just as Marcus had done for Kayla. And Marcus. He watched his daughters with pride, knowing that he had given Kayla a second chance at life. In her, he had found a daughter, and in Lily, a sister. Together they were a family forged not by blood but by love. As the sun set on their new home, Kayla looked out at the horizon, her heart full. She had been left for dead, but now she was alive. And she was loved,